Brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today I'm going to break down the first box office weekend in the month, or not just in the month of January, but in the year of 2026, which was January 2nd to the 4th, 2026. We're going to look at the overall numbers from last year, domestically and worldwide. I'll get into why I'm doing that when I get to that part of the video. I'll also preview all the movies that are hitting theaters this upcoming weekend and for the entire month of January. So my name is Max Edberg. Welcome back, everyone, to Max Talks Box Office here at Max Talks Movies. If you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really would mean a lot to me. Ring that bell to notify when my videos hit the channel because I do post videos every single day of the week, 1 to 2 videos. I do this show every single Monday. I do Oscar breakdown videos. I do movie, TV show reviews. I do out-of-theater reactions, movie franchise rankings. I do it all. Please subscribe. We're just under 5 subscribers away, guys. 400, which is a huge milestone for my channel. So please would mean a lot to subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What are you guys' thoughts on the box office? What did you see this past weekend? Are these movies that are coming out this weekend exciting? Or are these ones you're going to pass and wait for digital? Also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Excuse me. Let's get into this past weekend's box office, which was from the 2nd to the 4th of January 2026. We had no new changes in the top 5. The same 5 movies from last week are the top 5 movies again this weekend. But no movies this weekend actually fell over 40% in the top 10. So people, even though no movies came out this week, multiple people were still going to the theaters this weekend. So Avatar Fire and Ash is in number 1 in its third weekend. It only dropped 37% in its third weekend. Another 40 million domestically for Avatar Fire and Ash. It is up to 305 million domestically, but it has just crossed $1 billion worldwide. Now, Avatar Fire and Ash, it took 18 days to make $1 billion, which is the longest amount of time for the franchise to make $1 billion. The first Avatar, it took 17 days to make $1 billion. But again, that movie came out in 2009. And 2022's Avatar Way of Water took 14 days. So this movie is still trailing both films in the franchise. A lot of people, when the movie originally came out 2 weeks ago, so this movie's not even going to hit $1 billion. Well, the movie's hit $1 billion in just under 3 weeks. Now the question is for many people is, will Avatar Fire and Ash get to $2 billion? Because again, the first 2 movies of the franchise got to over $2 billion. I will say I don't see Avatar Fire and Ash getting to $2 billion. Now, here's the good news for Fire and Ash. It's going to keep most of its premium screens throughout the entire month of January. When you get to see the releases that I'm going to talk about towards the end of this video, you will see why. So this movie will get to play out for the majority, and really, yes, all of January, still keeping the majority of its IMAX and Dolby screenings. So I still think Avatar is going to make a lot of money. I think its floor right now for me is like 1.5 billion. I think it's going to get to around like 1.7, 1.8 billion dollars, which again, yes, sure is a disappointment from the first 2 movies, but still, this movie is going to make a lot of money, much more money here at the box office in January with no major IPs hitting theaters. So I think Avatar Fire and Ash, again, a lot of people once again doubted James Cameron, doubted Avatar Fire and Ash. And guess what? It's already at $1 billion. Again, it's a movie we're going to continue to follow throughout the month of January. Zootopia 2 is in its 6th weekend, and it only dropped 4% this weekend. It made another $19 million, $363 million domestically. Again, this movie's already over $1 billion as well from Disney. Just amazing that obviously these 2 last couple weekends have been really good for the Hollywood and the box office because one, Christmas came on a Thursday, so people were off the whole week. Plus, you had the Friday, Saturday, Sunday after Christmas. And then this past weekend was the same scenario where New Year's was on the 1st. Sorry, New Year's, of course, on the 1st. New Year's was on Thursday. So again, you had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the last time from a lot of people that people are off work or off school. So it really fell. Christmas and New Year's falling on a Wednesday, Thursday this year, in 2025, excuse me, was a huge help to Hollywood. And Zootopia 2 became one of the best, probably the best family film from a marketability perspective of 2025. So Zootopia 2 is at number two. Another huge hit this year is Lionsgate's The Housemaid, only dropping 3% in its third weekend. Another 14.8 for The Housemaid, 75.7 domestically. This movie is now a hit for Lionsgate. And once again, so many people we're rooting against this movie from the onset because of Sydney Sweeney. She got a lot of flack for obviously a lot of controversies, so-called controversies in 2025. Her movie Christie from a couple months ago did not do well at all at the box office, kind of killing her chances of being a focal point in awards season. So here she is with The Housemaid, and it's doing amazing. This is the second time in her career she has made a bona fide hit in the holiday season. Obviously, a couple years ago, it was Anyone But You from Sony, and now she's teaming up with Lionsgate to make The Housemaid. This bodes very well, and Sydney Sweeney is back in the realm of Hollywood that she probably wants to be in. So again, good news for The Housemaid in its third weekend. Marty Supreme is in its third weekend. It's at number four from 824, only dropping 29%. It made another 12.5 million, 56 to best. Again, this movie isn't going to be as like monster as a hit as most people I think maybe were thinking, but this movie is still going to be a bona fide hit for A24. Timothy Chalamet last night won Best Actor at the Critics' Choice. He is the bona fide favorite right now to win Best Actor at the Oscars. So the more, honestly, awards season continues to happen. The Golden Globes are this Sunday. More people, I think, are going to give Marty Supreme a chance, both this weekend after the Critics' Choice win, and then I think once Timothy Chalamet wins at the Golden Globes, he will have more people even more want to see Marty Supreme. So still, I think Marty Supreme will have legs in the month of January. And wrapping up the top five is Anaconda. Sorry, excuse me. Is Anaconda, which is in its second weekend. It only dropped 31%, $10 million, 45.8 for its domestic run. I think Anaconda is doing okay. It's not embarrassing itself. It's also not a huge studio hit for Sony. Again, they were, as I said last week, we're trying to ride that Jack Black momentum train after Kung Fu Panda 4 and Super Mario Brothers and Minecraft. He was really on a run of close to or billion-dollar movies. But Anaconda just didn't really grab that momentum. It was a very crowded marketplace, and it kind of got sucked up into the world where Housemaid, Zootopia, and Marty Supreme are making money. Obviously, Avatar is, but those three movies did not help Anaconda or even like SpongeBob or Song Song Blue. So that's why Anaconda is at number five. Now, I'm going to break down the 2025 domestic numbers now. You might be asking if you're new to box office coverage, why am I going to be looking at the 2025 box office? Because those movies that, yes, technically those numbers are 2026 box office numbers, but those movies go to the movies, and the movies that come out in 2025, those are its numbers. So the numbers that Avatar and Zootopia and all those movies make for the remainder of 2026, they'll be attributed to the domestic and worldwide numbers for 2025. We're probably not going to be looking at a breakdown of the 2026 box office, worldwide or domestic, probably until early March. Because again, we're not going to have a lot of movies to talk about in January and February. Once we get to March, mid-March into April, we'll be breaking down the overall numbers for 2026. So we're going to be at 2025, I would say, for the next month or two, then kind of take a break from the overall domestic or worldwide numbers. And when 2026 has had enough movies, we'll start breaking down those numbers. So for 2025, you have Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch, once again, yes, at 1 and 2. Zootopia 2 now has moved into number 3, leapfrogging Superman domestically, which is at 4. Wicked for Good, 5. Jurassic World Rebirth, 6. Avatar, Fire and Ash is at 7. It will probably get into the top 5 domestic when I guys talk to you guys next week. Sinners at 8. Fantastic Four, First Steps is at 9. How to Train Your Dragon is at 10. Looking at the worldwide numbers, guys, for the year, Neza 2 is... Again, the only $2 billion movie so far in 2025. Zootopia 2 is at number 2, $1.5 billion. Avatar, Fire and Ash already has made more money than Lilo and Stitch, which are both billion-dollar movies. And for the second consecutive year, guys, only 3 Hollywood movies made $1 billion. All 3, once again, are from Disney. Because we had Inside Out 2, Deadpool 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine and Moana 2 in 2024 all made $1 billion. And now this year you have Zootopia 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Lilo and Stitch. The rest of the top 10 is Minecraft at 5, Jurassic World at 6, Demon Slayer 7, How to Train Your Dragon at 8, F1 at 9, and Superman at 10. So looking at the movies that are hitting theaters for the entire month of January, because this is the first real box office weekend for the month of January with actual new releases. So this weekend you have two big releases, Primate, which could be a very much a sleeper hit. We will see. I'm seeing that movie, I think, tonight for the AMC Screen Unseen. So definitely stay tuned to my YouTube for an out-of-theater reaction tonight and a review for that movie tomorrow. And then Greenland 2, Migration, is also hitting theaters this weekend. I'm seeing that movie on Friday. So Friday, you'll get an out-of-theater reaction and review for Greenland 2. Next weekend, which is the January the 16th, the big release is 28 years later. The Bone Temple did 28 years later last year. That movie did okay at the box office, not exciting the world, but the word of mouth is very strong for this sequel. The studio that made 28 years later has already greenlit the third film for Danny Boyle, with Cillian Murphy coming back. So we'll see if 28 years later, The Bone Temple can gain some traction. Dead Man's Wire is also hitting theaters. That's a movie directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Bill Skarsgård. We'll see if that movie can also do any damage. January 23rd, the big movie hitting theaters is Mercy. That's a new movie starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. Again, Chris Pratt, most people don't agree that he does put butts in seats in the theater. We will see if that does well. And wrapping up the month of January, you have two movies coming out January 30th. You have Send Help. That's a new movie from director Sam Raimi, starring Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. And also, we have the 2026 supposed to be the year for Charlie XCX. Her movie called The Moment from A24 is also hitting theaters on January 30th. So what are you guys excited for in the month of January? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.